Hey, 10 years ago today,
Yeah.
Columbine.
Uh-huh.
Is that amazing? How is that 10 years ago?
Yeah. I heard that on the news coming in. And I was like, for some reason, that one didn't get me as much as some other things where it's like, wow, because that does kind of seem like a while ago.
Columbine seems a while ago?
Yeah, it kind of seems like a while ago.
Oh, I don't know. Not for me.
But
it seems like yesterday. Which means it's Hitler's birthday,
what means
right?
Yes, happy birthday to you. Jesus. Would have been 110 years young.
Wow.
Today, I believe.
Isn't this a bad day to go to school?
420.
420 is
It's
a bad
also
day to do stuff, right?
Smoke pot day.
Right.
420 day, man. So you smoke some weed. A lot of stuff about 420. Yeah, it's a big day for white supremacists and the sort. I got... later on, Steve from Bayshore is coming over the house. We're going to go down in the theater and watch some old World War II footage, followed by Downfall, the movie Downfall, about Hitler in the bunker and the last days of him, his staff, and Ava and Goldie.
That's nice. Celebrate.
Well, it's not much a celebration as a look back in history. It would be very inappropriate, Jimmy, to celebrate a man's birthday like Adolf Hitler.
Did you call Carvel and try to get a cake with 6 million candles? Creep.
No, it's a look back to put in perspective where we were and where we are.
A look back would be if you did it on April 28th. If you do it on the day that Hitler was born, you are embracing,
exactly.
You're celebrating, you're blowing out candles like Jimmy.
No, there will be no cake.
You two in party hats with a fucking cider.
I do not get cake. I never get the cake. That's why I
a look back
piece of cake.
Would be if you did this any other day of the year.
Yep.
You had to plan ahead and go, ooh, his birthday's coming up. What should we do this year?
You pick a day in history that is relevant to what you're going to be watching and experiencing and thinking about and pondering, things like that. So this day was a day where it's like, okay, we need to remember history so we do not repeat history, Opie. So what I like to do... Jesus. No, that cake, Danny, will not be at my house. It's a giant... There are 3 people carrying out a giant swastika cake back in the 30s,
Why don't they
believe.
make that type of cake on those dumb cake shows?
Yeah, where do you go?
You see on the Food Network.
For that cake.
They should have... That's a cake show I would watch. Outrageous cakes.
But they just make horrible, tasteless cakes.
Yeah, horrific, tasteless
about
cakes.
Miscarriages and stuff. Just need a lot of Cherry's Jubilee on top of it.
Where are we at with our... Where are we at with our most offensive song thing? Because there's some.
Never shall we ever do it again. What?
well, can we play the ones we used to play? Where are we at with that?
9.
You don't think so? How the hell did we ever get away with that?
I don't know, and that was on regular radio.
Regular radio.
Quite amazing, to tell you the truth. Yeah, there's another birthday cake. That looks a little more modern. That one doesn't look like it was done in the 30s.
I can't see it from
It was
here.
from a few years ago. It says, Happy 116th birthday, Adolf Hitler.
116th? I thought it would only be 110.
Oh.
116th. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was 120.
I hear 120 years ago today.
All right, then it's 120.
It's a big one, Ed.
Oh, how can
it
I
would have been
forget?
120 if he was still living.
120.
He's probably dead.
Yeah, he probably is.
You know he didn't live healthy.
No, he didn't.
Probably ate sauerkraut, didn't sleep properly.
He was a vegetarian, by the way, Adolf Hitler. A vegetarian.
Yeah.
I guess he lost his flavor for meat. We saw what his military was doing.
I guess that blows Bernie Goetz's theory out of the water that vegetarians are more docile and less violent of a person.
Either that or how big a prick would he have been if he ate burgers?
Yeah.
I picked the wrong day. Stephen S. from Bayshore writes, well, actually, Opie, April 28th would be a celebration, too. That's the anniversary of Hitler's marriage to Eva, 2 days before they killed themselves in the bunker.
Ah, yes.
Here's to the happy couple.
It seems to just be... April is a big Hitler month, I do believe.
Great.
And my birthday falls in there, too, in between all the shenanigans.
Your birthday's Sunday.
I'm in there.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Sunday?
Sunday.
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 Cool.
Yeah, I just, I don't like doing much on that.
On your birthday?
No, I'm not one of those, like, make a big deal out of it kind of a thing. I like just hanging out.
Well, Sunday.
Doing whatever.
Sunday is your low-key day, so it's perfect for you.
Enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Hey, enough palaver. Enough palaver. Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy birthday. All right. I'll be a good boy.
Are you excited?
I woke up thinking, happy birthday to you. But then I realized, my birthday's like next week.
Is this shtick, or are you really into Hitler's birthday?
No, I'm not into Hitler's birthday. I'm just into the era and the memorabilia and history of the whole thing.
Right.
Not as a white supremacist or a neo-Nazi. It's just part of history. Like people go, oh, today is Gandhi's birthday, or today was Winnie Churchill's birthday, or something like that. I'm just acknowledging today is Adolf Hitler's birthday. Adolf as the proper pronunciation.
And we should be in lockdown today, right?
Should we be in lockdown?
Well, some bad things have happened on April 20th over the years.
Well,
We've had a
that
few
does seem to
bad
be
ones. No?
That does seem to be a big day when it comes to shenanigans and hijinks.
I'll give you one.
Yeah.
Fenway Park opened 98 years ago today.
I see.
That's a bad one.
That's a horrible, horrible thing in history that happened. Fagway.
And, of course, Columbine, which the media blew out of proportion, making it very easy for disgruntled kids to reenact that fucking massacre.
To just really take it and make it their own.
Oh, of course. Media clueless how they pushed that one forward.
Yeah.
And made that one even bigger than it was.
Yeah. It was pretty big, but I mean...
Of course it was pretty big. I mean,
they almost made... Dylan and fucking...
Well, they glorified the
Eric
whole
and
thing.
Dylan. Yeah, they made him like almost folk hero-y.
Don't we have our Columbine song?
Holy shit, I hope not. I have no idea.
Do we have our Columbine song? Wasn't that
one?
part of the most offensive song
Most
contest?
offensive song. The most offensive song you've ever heard.
Now, are we allowed to... Well...
Probably not. Nah, I have no idea. I'm just...
Why not? It's a look back.
It is a look back, all right.
All right, well... I don't even know where some of that material is. Some of that material is buried somewhere.
Yeah.
Never to see the light of day again, I guess.
Like Hitler. Sorry.
Huh?
It's just on my mind.
Are you really excited about this Hitler thing? I can't figure you out.
No, I'll probably, like when I go home, I'm sure the History Channel has a lot of Hitler stuff on it because it's his birthday. So I'll probably check that out. It's a historic thing. It was, the biggest piece of history in the 20th century.
Yeah, but Obama's part of history. You wouldn't celebrate his birthday.
Well, maybe.
You would have a lot of yucks if it was his birthday.
If he starts up with some genocide shenanigans in years to come, maybe he'll be looked at through history.
And how old
like
would
Hitler was?
Adolf have been today?
Oh my God! Is it 119 or is he old? Is that an older? How old would Hitler be today? See, if I was really excited about it, I would know. I would know. When was he born? 18 fucking 90 something. 1889.
Yeah.
Was he born in 1889?
So he'd be 121 years old today.
Ah, that's a lot of candles. How do you get that much fire on a cake? You can't just burn candles. Let me think.
You're really into this Hitler thing.
No. I'm just thinking it's,
You got a pep in your step today.
Did I have a pep in my I just
big
got a
time.
good night's sleep.
You even
That's
said
all.
that to me. It goes, I slept like a baby for once.
I did. It was just a nice, relaxing evening. I think I'm going to go home and watch Downfall. It's a good movie. You ever see Downfall?
No.
You watch it backwards,
I've had
though.
no desire to see Downfall.
I like watching it backwards.
It becomes a good story then?
Yeah, when it's backwards and...
How does it become a good story if it's backwards?
Well, it doesn't end so sad.
Oh, I see.
You know.
But when the movie starts slow, so then it ends slow?
Who cares? As long as
Doesn't-
the ending isn't sad.
Doesn't every movie start slow?
Yeah. I don't care. Start with a big bang, literally.
You're
And
like
then,
you're like a kid going on a field trip today.
Well, there's
You got
so
a good night's
much.
sleep.
Oh, and look who I'm welcoming to the chat room right now. Steve from Bayshore.
Oh, brother.
Another man. I'm sure I'll get
Another
a
racist fuck.
Racist fuck. My goodness.
Another racist.
I'm sure I'll get a nice message from Steve. I believe it's probably a year ago that we did a show from the compound, me and Steve.
For Hitler?
On Hitler. Well, no, but it was on Hitler's birthday.
Are you doing a show today for Hitler's birthday?
No, it's a Tuesday. It's very difficult to do a show on a Tuesday.
Why is it difficult?
You gotta get up.
Because of the Brewski angle?
Well, if I step down through that basement door, I'm drinking. So I try to lock the basement door during the week.
Is it locked? Is it on lockdown?
It's like a monster down there.
That's what
the door shakes. I hear banging on it, and I just know Budweiser's down there.
That's what I meant by lockdown. Your
Yes.
basement's on lockdown.
I locked down my basement so the beer can't get me.
You're sort of not drinking on the weekdays. Is that true?
Yes, that is what I'm doing, and it's
A little rough.
it's not the easiest thing to do because beer is very good, and it's very convenient,
And it's almost healthy, right?
and it's
Doesn't it help the heart and
actually, they say a glass of red wine, but the glass is a giant carafe that I like to use. It is made of glass, and there's red wine in it. But no, I'm really steering clear unless I go out for something, a social reason on a weekday.
Right.
Then I'll have some cocktails. But
Well,
I mean,
of course.
if I'm just sitting at home, normally I would sit and watch maybe Hitler's Bodyguards or the Gestapo, things like that.
Are you into this Hitler?
Well, I enjoy history and that part of
So
history.
you got hidden tats?
Hidden?
You got some
What do you mean-
tats?
What do you mean by hidden?
You got hidden tats under there?
I can say I've never gotten a tat in my life. I am tatless, as they say.
Prove it. Strip down nude.
You want me to get nude right now?
Well, not really, I guess.
Oh, my
That would
goodness.
be a little awkward for everybody.
You know what the thing about Nazi tats are? Very hard to get a job with a Nazi tattoo.
Not if they're hidden, though.
Very hard to go to the beach.
Not if they're hidden.
Well, where are you hiding them if you go to the beach?
Well,
Because then you make problems with the people on the beach that don't quite appreciate your look at things. It's like the Confederate flag has gotten this bad stigma over the years, and people look at it like but people are actually getting flack for being daughters and sons of the Confederate, and there's a Confederate Commemoration Day that recently came under fire, and you can't really fault people in the South for being proud of whatever their forefathers did as far as fighting, even if the cause wasn't just.
But they got those Confederate
in the long run.
Those Confederate flags are still freaking flying high, man.
Well, you know what? A lot of government buildings.
You remember
that used
when we went
fly
down to
up high?
Georgia?
Well, a lot of them. Oh, Jesus!
Wow, what's that one?
It's a bunch
Jesus.
of LOLs, and the last L is all linked together to form a swastika.
Very creative, that one.
Very creative. I wonder what he's laughing out loud at. People are getting very upset though with the Confederate flag as the years go by. They're really getting upset with even just they see it as the swastika.
Right.
It would be like having a
one of those
state
bad
flag
symbols. Right.
with the swastika incorporated into it. So people get very angry with it. But I see no problem with things like that. And even German soldiers weren't necessarily Nazis. They were fighting under the flag of the Nazis and Hitler, but they were fighting for their brothers and for Germany, but not necessarily Nazis. You know, you get things like the SS, they were Nazis. And
Are you trying to justify it a little bit?
no, I'm
here?
just saying that not every Nazi, German soldier, not Nazi soldier, every German soldier was a Nazi, and they were fighting just like any other country would send men to fight, even though like I said, the cause was not just and good, but they were put in a situation where they were sent off to war. And if you watch a lot of these programs that I watch, they do interviews with these people, and you realize that they were just fighting for a cause and didn't like the politics of the whole thing, but as you would fight for your brother that is next to you in the trenches, as you fight for your country and for the people around you, that is what they were doing. They weren't necessarily all fighting for Hitler and his genocide and whatnot.
You do realize a lot of Jews run Sirius XM satellite
I
radio,
understand.
right?
That's why I'm not
You
really
do realize a lot of Jews run the
going
media.
balls out with this. That's why
your livelihood.
I'm keeping it very tame.
You do realize pretty much everyone above us on the next floor are all Jews.
I defy anybody
Jews.
of any ethnic background to come up with anything I've said so far and find it offensive. This is fact. This is just
some factoids.
Factual information on what happened many years ago and how it is perceived today, and the place in history that people like Stalin and the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia and Adolf Hitler have in history. It is these are people that shaped history, that made crossroads in history that were taken and that give us the earth that we have today.
You do realize our boss's last name is Greenstein, right?
I do understand that.
All right.
I do understand.
Lucky for you,
that.
I don't think he's ever heard our show, so you're safe.
But
I think you're safe.
I never listens to this garbage.
Why? Why would you listen to one of the big shows on your platform? Why?
Well, it's.
Oh my God!
It's just. So when you get a day commemorating the birthday of somebody that really set the course of history in the 20th and into the 21st century, you do acknowledge it. I'm not saying celebrate it or anything. A lot of white supremacists and neo-Nazi groups do celebrate the birthday of Adolf Hitler, but I acknowledge it as another man in history that sort of set the tone for the 20th century and brought on the Cold War through his defeat, and we still live with the effects very much so today.
Did you bring any party games?
Yeah. A few party games. Yeah. Swastikas and ladders.
Let's say hi
The
to
game of life.
Josh in
Very
Colorado.
different one.
Josh.
Spin the spinner and oops.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up, Josh?
You guys need to reflect on all the good Hitler's done.
Holy shit.
Do you realize that the factory that made the Tiger tanks, very formidable tank back in World War II,
was it the number one tank in the war?
It was a good one. Oh, it was a goddamn good tank back in its day.
Right.
Porsche. A gentleman named Porsche put built that tank in his factories. Later, to come out with the car that is driven by a lot of Jewish people, along with Mercedes.
Well, that must be a fine car if they're...
Lufthansa Airlines.
Slow down. The Porsche must be a fine car if they're willing to ignore...
Yes.
How they got the technology for that fine machine.
Ferdinand Porsche actually had his factory making Tiger tanks for the German army back in World War II.
Wow.
And Volkswagen, of course, the people's car, the Autobahn, the highway system around Germany that we adapted to the United States. With the Eisenhower interstate system, came directly from German engineering. The V-2 rocket, which rained horror down upon England at the end of the war, was used by Americans and captured German scientists to launch our space program. All this would not have been done had it not been for Adolf Hitler and his blitzkrieging his ass through Europe.
You feeling okay?
I feel fine. I'm just saying that you have to sometimes look at the big picture. He did horrible things, genocide. But through war and through the nightmare of war, there are things that come out that have made our lives better today. That's all I'm saying. We had our own atrocities that were committed by American generals and American commanders and American soldiers that in some way, shape, or form
Hold on.
give us the nation we have today.
Let me pump
Based on, yes?
Let me pump this up for you. All right,
I'm a
continue.
lemons into lemonade kind of guy, Opie.
Continue.
Do you have a march? I'd have a good march. This is too American. But yes, we adapted many things from many horrible things that have happened throughout history and incorporated them into our daily lives, making American life that much easier. And what I'm saying is the years that Adolf Hitler and the Nazi army were sweeping and horrifying Europe, certain things came out of that we use today with a smile on our face that has made our lives more convenient through German engineering. You know, they did some horrible things, Opie, but those German engineers, even today, they, boy, their tolerances are plus or minus 10,000ths of an inch. You gotta give it to them.
All right, let's say hi to Ed in New York City. Ed, what's going on, buddy?
Hi, Ed.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Hey.
Yes, the Germans also perfected radar technology, which is still being used today by the American military. They were able to detect aircraft that were approaching their shores.
Well, let me tell you something. The English were very good at that. They actually set up radar stations all along their eastern coast. Mm-hmm. And when German planes would come over, it was the English that knew the Germans were coming, and they had no clue. They'd fly right over the towers and not even know what the fuck they were, the Germans. But the English were able to do it. And I'm sure they took it and just made it better.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. The Germans absolutely made the radar technology much better, and the advances that are being used today that were used by the Germans are still being used today.
Exactly. And let's not forget the style and fashion, Opie. When we look back at the Nazi army, the German army, and then the Nazis, the SS, the high-ranking officers, Heinrich Himmler, Goebbels, Goering, even though he was a fat fuck.
He was a fat guy.
Oh, was he a fat fuck?
What was his problem?
He was in charge of the Luftwaffe, and he couldn't stop eating.
Did he get his stomach stapled?
No. Yes, hello. I'm in charge of the Luftwaffe.
He never got his stomach stapled?
I would like a Luftwaffe, please. Yes, I'm starving. But, the fashion that these Nazi officers had with the long leather.
Who designed the
jackboots.
uniforms? Wasn't it someone pretty famous?
Rumor has it. I'm sure Steve from Bayshore knows exactly who designed those wonderful German uniforms. Hugo Boss perhaps had something to do with it.
Is that a rumor or is that true?
Boss? That's pretty much yes.
That's a pretty much yes.
Yeah. And if you look at Hugo Boss, very successful these days. Very successful designer. But, kind of had a hand in making the German officers look pretty snappy. And look at the German army helmet, Opie, which looks much like a perfect head of a penis. The American Kevlar helmet, brought up after the Vietnam War, adapted to the shape of the World War II era German helmet, just showing the superiority in engineering in that day and age of the helmet, which would more come down lower to protect the ears and behind the head more than the American steel pot helmet of the past.
So basically what you're saying, if it wasn't for that Jew killing thing, we probably would have the day off today.
Let me tell you something.
This would probably be a holiday for Americans even.
If it wasn't for the millions upon millions of people that died due to Hitler's want of genocide, there might have been a different sentiment toward the gentleman.
We would have had a white sale today.
Because there could have been a car dealerships could have been coming in. A bunch of people would have been going around with the little mustaches.
We would have had some barbecues going on
there
today.
There could have been backyard
instead of working.
barbecues, all kinds of the fun stuff that we get on a President's Day or MLK Day or any of the various holidays that are based on people's birthdays.
So basically, because of the genocide, he ruined it.
Because of the genocide,
he ruined his name.
He kind of wrecked his legacy of improving Germany and building their spirits up after the embarrassing defeat of World War I and the Treaty of Versailles, which pretty much castrated Germany and put Hitler in the position where he was able to unite a defeated population.
Let's say hi to Steve on Long Island. Steve!
Hey, so Anthony, you are great, but I gotta say, at some point, the German rant's a little crazy and got to scare off the women.
What? I'm talking history here. We best remember history lest we repeat it.
How many penthouse pets want to hear about Hitler?
Believe me, the last one I talked
More than
to,
you think.
the last one I sat
More than you think,
to dinner with was kind of a fan of.
Oh well,
I'll just be honest with you. You'd be surprised.
All right.
How many white chicks are into neo-Nazism? Oh my God! Is that a way to get white chicks? And you're getting a white chick.
Let's go to Eric in Orlando. Eric.
Hey, boys, how you doing?
What's up, Eric?
Well, I want to agree with Anthony. I'm a big fan of the era, just like Anthony.
The era.
I'm thankful for my great-grandfather being in the Wehrmacht with the items he left behind.
In the Wehrmacht. How nice.
Yes, he was also in World War I, and I have a few of his things.
Wow,
But
must have been a trooper.
I've got his G43 sniper rifle with scope, the prized 1942 Luger P08 9mm.
Wow.
His Wehrmacht uniform with 2 bullet holes in the arm.
Do you put it on every so often and just walk around the house?
You know, if he wasn't 6'4", I might have just worn it as a goof.
What a tall, strapping Nazi your grandpa was.
And as for modern technology, I'm thankful for my prized Audi TT Quattro that prominently displays the Wow 1 Wow license plate.
Look at that. Wow 1 Wow, yes.
Wow 1 Wow.
Of course, I've seen that one, by the way.
All right, Eric.
Yeah, that was mine.
Yes, I remember that. Very good, sir.
Let me go to Kent in Georgia. Kent.
Genocide, please!
No, see that
Is that what you're saying today?
See, this is where
people
rumor
are a little confused
and innuendo gets started. I am not celebrating that man's birthday. I am not celebrating the sick genocide that took place under Hitler's rule. I am not. Do not get me wrong. I am saying this was a man in history that shaped the 20th century and beyond through his actions. And this has to be acknowledged. You can acknowledge without celebrating, is what I am saying. Why are my hands waving around and my hair's going wild?
Because you're very excited.
Oh,
today.
my God.
You're extremely excited.
This is a man who needs to be acknowledged as somebody in the 20th century that shaped our societies as we live them today. We would not have many of the things we have today if it was not for Adolf Hitler. Did you see that jerk? It is just an acknowledgement that he was part of history in the 20th century. And we would not have many things we have without Adolf Hitler having been a part of the 20th century. He did bring many things to the world. I'm just saying. The whole genocide thing, that's, that was bad. Bad. Leave the Jews alone. They were just hanging out. And you needed an scapegoat. You needed a scapegoat, so, you picked on the Jews and various other ethnic backgrounds, but, the Jews took the brunt of it. That was the crazy Hitler. Crazy Hitler. But, you know, you get a guy that wants to build his country up and, you know, kind of get the infrastructure back and recover from the embarrassment of the Treaty of Versailles. Perhaps you look at that, even rolling into Poland. How bad was that? Jesus. But then the English and French had to go, All right, look, I'm not saying that. That was bad, too. Okay.
All right, good.
All right, now that I think back, perhaps that was bad, too.
Might have been a bit of a problem.
And he was, thank you. He was kind of a good painter. Do you ever see some of his pictures and portraits that he painted?
I have not.
They really are quite lovely.
Why don't you purchase one?
Hold on. Whew, did you just get me with that? The thought of an original A. Hitler hanging in my house is too much to even bear. Imagine an original A. Hitler hanging up in the house.
Well, your birthday's coming up. How much could these things go
Look
for?
how good he was. Look, that ain't bad.
That's
Everything's very German. Oh, my God.
Looks extremely German.
Painted a lot of Austria, didn't he?
What does that go for? What does a basic Adolf Hitler painting go for?
A. Hitler go for? Maybe, you know, that would take over the spot over the fireplace, by the way. I would have to hang an original.
You would have to take down the flag then.
And also, why the outrage when people want the flag? Okay. Why the outrage if someone wanted to buy one of his paintings? Attract big sale prices. Hitler's art attracts big sale prices. Let's see. The artworks by the Nazi leader fetched almost $120,000. The watercolor was one of 15 items of Hitler art being sold at auction. Together, the artworks by the Nazi leader fetched almost 120 for 15 paintings. They had an expect to raise under $50,000.
Wait, you could get one for how much?
Wait, what about one? That sounded like 15. You got 15 for 120 G's? I'm in.
That's
Hitler's in every room.
That's a weekend at the Borgata, man.
Holy shit, exactly.
Fucking get a painting.
It's a day at the That's a hand at the Borgata.
Let's say hi to Jared in Boston.
Jared.
Hey, guys. Hey, something else the Germans perfected. They're very good at this. Chicken fucking.
Yes. We never would have had think of all the laughs that we have had over the years with the chicken fucker. Never would have had it because the mindset of defeat wouldn't have been there. The mindset of degradation would not have been there.
Travis, do we have that?
Original watercolor painting.
Hold on a minute.
How much?
Macht es Spaß?
Nein.
Ficker. Ja, ich bin ganz wild auf
Nein. See? Happy birthday. Here's the chicken fucker for Hitler's birthday. This is what he made.
Ja. Nun wird's gut.
Das gut.
Ja, gleich.
Ja, like.
That's a chicken crying.
Oh, the chicken.
Oh, my God.
This is what it sounds like when chickens cry.
Let's say hi to Chris in Texas. Chris.
Yeah, you guys heard of a country called Iran doing us a little bit of a bellyache these days? They used to be called Persia, but Hitler convinced them to change their name to Iran, which means Aryan.
Iran.
No kidding, really? Is that
changed
true?
their name. It used to be Persia.
All right, we're learning a lot today.
See, so he was able to perpetuate our hatred for other countries even long after he's gone.
Greg in D.C. Greg.
Good morning, boys.
Hello, Greg.
I was calling because Hitler wasn't all good. It's partially his fault that we have to be the babysitters of the world because we were isolationists until, he and Japan decided to pull some little shenanigans.
Well, let me tell you something. It also made us the superpower that we are because it was necessary to come up with things like the atomic bomb. Also, Stalin decided, hey, the war's over. I'm going to grab every fucking bit of real estate that the Germans took. And if it wasn't for the United States and England being as powerful, especially the United States after the war, they would have just swept in and taken everything. And we were able to hold them at bay, and the Cold War started as a direct result of World War II. And again, you got to look at the Cold War with the good and the bad. A lot of technology came out of us trying to keep them from their shenanigans.
I'm surprised this took so long. Joe in Pennsylvania. Joe.
Oh, Joe.
Hey, guys. I'm been listening for a long time, called the show many times, but Anthony, your rabid support of Hitler is just hitting a little too close to home today for me.
Hitting too close to home. You are misunderstanding. Do I need to explain myself again that I am not celebrating this man's hatred and genocide? I am not celebrating at all. I am observing. As a historian, as an amateur historian that I fancy myself, I am observing the fact that this day in history is Adolf Hitler's birthday. And what he did through history and his effect on us even till this day throughout history of the 20th and into the 21st century. That is what I'm saying. I am not a neo-Nazi. I am not celebrating what he did as far as his genocide and hatred and just insanity goes. I am looking at things that happened during that era on all sides, the Axis and the Allied side, that gave us the way of life we lead today. So we must acknowledge that this man did exist and not always just look at it like, okay, everyone thinks Adolf Hitler and thinks genocide, Holocaust, millions of people dead. Of course, that is part of it. But on this birthday, I do like to acknowledge the historical implications just beyond that. That are responsible because of Adolf Hitler, because of Winston Churchill, because of Eisenhower and Truman and Roosevelt and Tojo and all the Emperor, all the motherfuckers from back then.
Why don't you ask Joe why it hits so close to home?
Joe, why does it hit so close to home?
See, that would mean you...
Where'd you live, Dresden?
Why does this hit so close to home, Joe?
I went to the Holocaust Museum this one time, and it was like
They have
really
a gift
sad.
shop. Was it?
I've been made to stage an intervention for Anthony at the Holocaust Museum.
Hey, look, I walked through the Holocaust memorial they have in Boston. Remember that?
No surprise, right, Jimmy? Jimmy has just arrived from L.A. No surprise.
I walked through the Holocaust
I'm in hell.
Memorial.
Guess who's celebrating Adolf Hitler's birthday since 6 o'clock?
I'm not celebrating. I'm observing the
Since
fact
6
that
o'clock.
he was part of history, and we have to look at everything.
He's beyond
that
excited.
This man did, and how it shaped the 20th and into the 21st century. Beyond just when people say Adolf Hitler, you always think the Holocaust, millions dead. I'm not talking about that.
What's Mussolini's birthday?
I have no clue.
Exactly.
That hack wannabe.
What's Idi Amin's birthday?
Oh, stop it.
What's my fucking birthday?
Who the fuck knows, Jimmy? Every day, apparently.
Jimmy, I said that exact thing. I said,
did you?
Yeah. You're not celebrating Obama's birthday ever.
I am not celebrating. I am observing. And this is a guy that in the 20th century had an impact that kind of spawned the other Mussolini and other dictators of the time and after. I am just saying that many things happened in history because of World War II, and because of Hitler's overzealousness to take back the pride of his country.
But you got Joe on the phone, and he's not happy with you, Anthony.
I don't blame him. You're taking gold teeth and making lemonade.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
No, I don't think my point's getting across here.
Your point has to be getting across. You're not allowing anyone else in today.
All right.
It's been a monologue since 6 o'clock.
Continue, Joe.
Joe.
I got nothing. Punch it out.
Yeah, there he is.
All right, let's say hi to
a little too close.
Let's say hi to Larry King. Larry.
Opie, how important is the theme song?
What was that?
Oh, Jimmy perked up like, what was that?
I don't know what that is.
That is an atrocity second to Hitler's.
I don't know what that is.
What was that?
Oh, boy.
I fucking hate Danny.
Wait, did that say
I fucking hate Danny.
Opie's on? Is that what that said or no?
Oh, it certainly did. Wait.
Well, you just got here, Jimmy.
I just got here.
Why don't you
is
settle
so
in a little
happy.
bit, and maybe we could get
What
into
is
that
that?
a little
Jimmy
later.
is so happy right now. Look at the smile.
Ooh.
You look like a little boy on Christmas.
Let's say hi to Sean in North Carolina. Sean.
Morning, boys.
Good morning,
Hello,
Sean.
sir.
So, hey, would it be safe to say that the first 15 minutes of the Inglorious Bastards is running on a constant loop at Anthony's house today?
I find that first 15 minutes of Inglourious Basterds an amazing part of cinema. It is quite astounding. The fear that the Nazi officer is striking into that family by just smiling and being pleasant is a great acting job by, what was his name? Werner, something German. But he, yeah, Hans Gruber, that was it. No, just fantastic. Yes, it runs on a constant loop.
Let's say hi to Justin in Connecticut. Justin.
Morning, boys.
Hey, buddy.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, it's a little-known fact that Hitler was Time Magazine's Man of the Year not once, but twice. Also, the Prince of England monetarily backed Hitler before the war.
So why would he ruin all these great accomplishments that he had?
Well, he kind of was crazy, Opie. See, that's the point I'm getting at, is there was some thing. If you look at,
we've had some great accomplishments, too.
Of
So
course
how
we
about you
have.
not go crazy today?
But they always talk about the sex for Sam thing, don't they?
They
See?
sure do.
That's a perfect example of what I'm trying to say here. Do you know the Hindenburg that was just invited over to the United States and with great pomp and circumstance and celebration before it burst into flames was carrying a giant swastika on one of its tail fins right here to the United States. Hey, come on over. We're fine with you. See? And then, whoops. Something's happened. There's some speculation as to how and why and who.
There might have been a bit of a problem.
Well, they might have had a problem, but yes, look at that.
All right, let's
look at the tail of the. That was flying right over Lakehurst, New Jersey, my friends.
Is that the one that burst into flames?
That's the one.
I didn't know it had a swastika on the
Of course,
tail.
it was German.
No
it was
clue,
fucking.
man.
It was one of Hitler's, the pride of his air fleet.
Nathan in Chicago. Nathan.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Nathan?
Speak. You're on the air.
Hey, long-time listener, boys. How you guys doing? I just want to tell Anthony that he's not wrong. Basically, a lot of listeners are not listening to what he's saying.
Yes.
What he's saying is we shouldn't celebrate the bad things that Hitler's doing, but what the good things. That Hitler also took unemployment.
Did you just
after
brainwash
Treaty
half
of
the fucking
Versailles
audience?
From 28%.
You should be a leader, man.
To 2.1%.
Fuck this radio crap. You should be a leader.
I didn't say.
You just brainwashed everybody.
No, I wasn't saying celebrate. The word isn't celebrate.
But they could hear it in your voice.
Observe.
They're all going to
remember.
They're all going and getting their party supplies because of you.
Where do you find little pointy party hats with swastikas on them, by the way? Because I'll tell you, Party Express does not have it.
They can make a boatload if they have that. All right, well... Good for you, Ant.
Yes.
Enjoy your day.
It is just a day to reflect and look back on something that had happened in history that has shaped the way we live today. It would have been a very, very different United States of America if he hadn't pulled his shenanigans back in the day, as they say. That's all. Same thing with Stalin, but I don't know what the fuck his birthday is.
Well, why don't you
but he was a little more just with his own people, fucking around with them after World War II, and he, grabbed up a bunch of countries and everything like that. And then he pretty much kept his death and destruction within his own borders, occasionally venturing out. But
all right,
Hitler, and what am I? I'm being told I could buy an original A. Hitler painting for about $50,000, about 50 large. Danny,
Less than that.
less than 50.
Yeah, there's an auction house in Europe. They have a whole bunch of original A. Hitler
Just
paintings.
having an A. Hitler hanging in my house would be something.
You could bid
Something
right
else.
from their website.
I could bid from the site?
Yeah.
Danny, send me the link.
Oh my God, you're out of your mind.
What's the matter? What's the matter? You wouldn't come on.
You're out of your
Jimmy,
mind.
you wouldn't think that it would be kind of something historic to have an Adolf Hitler painting before? This is many years before he became the dictator and the Fuhrer. He was just a painter.
He took people's luggage and told them they would get it when they got to this family camp. Meanwhile, they were going through it, planning to gas people. They were terrible.
I understand where he went.
That kind of wipes out everything he did.
Yeah,
that might have been considered good.
It's hard to look at his artistic qualities.
But his paintings are quite striking.
I'm sure John Wayne Gacy had quite a skill with the brush too.
His clown paintings.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's good. It's a scene in City Square, presumably Vienna.
He paints in Dreck.
In pastel.
It's very Dreckish.
On a card signed by A. Hitler.
It's average at best. It looks like a worn-out postcard. If that wasn't fucking signed by a megalomaniac, you'd want no part of it. If that was
Really?
if that was done by fucking A. Hister,
I wouldn't want it.
A. Hister of Schenectady, you wouldn't spend $30 on it.
I wouldn't want it. You don't think?
No.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Arnie Hister drew that.
I want something a little bigger in size.
Look at that lopsided fucking ass bridge he drew. It was stuff.
Perspective needed a little help.
It's terrible. He'd probably paint. He'd probably be going really well, and he would just go, Juice! And his hand would go up.
And he would slip off the
That got
canvas.
way too big.
Yeah.
Let's go to Jim in Atlanta. Jim.
Yeah.
Good morning, boys.
Good morning, Jim.
Hey, Ed. I got an interesting collectible you might want to seek out.
What do you got?
How about one of those cyanide teeth?
No, I don't. Look,
There was a pause there, though. You actually paused.
No, I paused out of like, oh, God, why? Again, another person who hasn't been listening to what I've been saying.
I think it'd be very interesting, Ed.
Jim, Anthony does not want that wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'll put you on hold.
No!
What?
Don't put him on hold.
Are you sure?
No, and I'm not winking. My eye is very dry. It's allergy season.
Are you?
I'm positive.
All right.
I would just like. How big is that one? Did he paint anything big? What a rushy guy he was.
How small was that? How small is that painting?
I don't know. I'd have to convert it. It's in millimeters.
It's in millimeters.
Stupid millimeters.
If it's in millimeters and not even centimeters, then there's a problem.
Is millimeters like 0.62 or no?
That's
Wasn't
very
everything
small.
0.62?
I know Benson and Hedges was a silly millimeter longer.
What?
Cigarette commercial from many years ago.
All right.
I shouldn't even know.
Oh, this is good. Chris in Pennsylvania. Chris.
Hey there, Chris.
Hey, when I met my wife's family for the first time, she's got this nutty uncle. And he took me aside and he said that everything we've got, we owe to Adolf Hitler. Looked at him kind of weirdly. He said, got our family out of the coal mines working on the railroads in the war effort.
Steve from Bayshore is saying, good work, Ant. Nobody's spoken this well about Hitler since Nuremberg 1938.
But he's a racist. Of course he's going to say
Steve
good work.
is not a racist. He is a fan of the era. He is a fan of the era. He understands what happened. And the more you understand about history, good or bad, you must understand history so that you understand where you are now in the flowing river that is history. You need to know why we are here. You don't know why we're here unless you understand from whence we came. And Hitler was a huge part of the 20th century and shaped the world we live in today and will continue shaping it long after the 21st century is done. I'm scared of you. There have been many things
I'm scared.
that Hitler has given to the world that does not tie in to his genocide. The advances in avionics and aviation are astounding.
Sorry. Anthony Jordan from Scranton, PA,
No,
writes,
the size of my mustache did not just fall off.
Writes, my favorite Hitler painting is Starry Night, so let's kill all the Jews.
No, that isn't a painting of his. This was well before any of those shenanigans.
He also painted
although,
Whistler's mother went up the chimney. Got to know Whistler's mother. Too.
Whistler's mother.
Hey, all right. You want a break? That was a fun hour.
Why want a break?
That was a terrific hour. That was a lot of fun.
Look, I'm identifying a time and a person in history that...
Jimmy, he said he slept like a baby last night. Slept like a baby.
Well, I worked
He couldn't
out.
wait for today. It's field trip day for Anthony.
No.
This is like,
Surprised you slept so well after all those cupcakes with candles in them.
That was last year.
Oh.
I don't want anyone to misunderstand me. So if you've taken anything out of context, listen to the replay and listen to what I'm saying with open ears. That's all. Because people mention Adolf Hitler, and you get one story, which is horrible and true. Absolutely. I am just saying that it has shaped history. It has shaped who and where we are today. So you have to, look at this and remember it. Even the Holocaust survivors and people say, never forget.
Never forget.
Well, don't forget that, and don't forget everything.
Don't forget the good stuff that he did.
I'm not saying good stuff. I'm not putting it in that context of good stuff. I'm saying good, bad, or indifferent. It is where we are right now.
Jimmy, I need your help
some of the
today.
things we use on a daily basis.
I try to tell Anthony
directly
about all the Jews that run Sirius XM satellite radio, but he's not acknowledging that.
Do you
I'm trying
think
to tell
we'd
him
have
that our
satellites?
boss's last name is Greenstein.
Do you think we'd have satellites in orbit if it wasn't for our dissection of the German scientists and the V2 rocket? That I mean, not the dissection of the scientists, their information. And the V2 rockets that Hitler rained down upon England. These rockets were used to help us with our space program and our missile program and got those satellites into space.
So perhaps if Hitler wasn't bombing people, they would have used that technology to help with the space program, and we would have gotten there 10 years sooner. Instead of in the 60s, we might have gotten there in 1961, instead of 1969.
We as humans are creatures of necessity. We are creatures of necessity, and we do not do things just because, this will make it more convenient or help us. We do things when we need to do things. So that's why our Air Force was completely outdated when Hitler's, by the way, was amazingly modern when he blitzkrieged his way across Europe and just started attacking. We had a completely obsolete biplane fucking Air Force. And we could have built that up and made it better, but you know what? We didn't have to. Until, then we started with mono-wing planes and then before you know it, P-51 Mustang kicking ass all over. But before that, ho-hum, this'll do.
It's also Muhammad's birthday, I'm learning.
What? Who the fuck is that?
You don't know who
Ali?
Muhammad is?
Ali! Who?
Hammered down at 63 on Twitter, thank you.
Muhammad?
The Muhammad.
Wait a minute, you mean the Muslim Muhammad?
The Prophet Muhammad.
I don't acknowledge him. I acknowledge Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Thank you very much.
Oh my God, he's out of his fucking mind.
I'm sure Christ is thrilled to hear that you love him and Hitler today.
I didn't say I love Hitler.
Let's go to...
I can't get my point across.
Wait, we got a phone call coming in from Hungary. Who's this?
Yeah, this is Vlad the Impaler. I just wanted to thank Anthony for sticking up for some of the people who don't get a fair shake over history.
Vlad the Impaler. Very good. Thank you, Vlad.
Let's say hi to Eric in Virginia.
God.
Eric.
When's Genghis Khan's birthday?
Anthony.
Yes.
Hail, Anthony. I got an original A. Hitler painting of a Vienna countryside that's in my basement. My wife's great-grandpa was in the Nazi party, last name of Kuhlenschmidt. And I got uniforms and medals and everything else from that era. And I think we should have let him do what he needed to do to get rid of all the Jews and the niggers.
Oh, my God. See, that's where it goes to.
Is this a friend of yours?
No, absolutely not. This is a guy
Is this a friend of yours, Ed?
that has taken what I'm saying and is twisting it around to try to make it seem like I am saying that was a good thing. No. No, bad you. No, that is not what I'm saying. My God, do people get confused? You try to walk a fine line with information and you get crucified.
Lead us to the promised
Shut
land.
up! I'm not talking to you. Away with this man! Away with him! My God.
All right.
Okay, terrific.